I can't see you though, bitch. You see me? I'm all out. I make my ass very available.
Last chance to back out. Don't tempt me.
Hey everybody, Roger here. It's been a long, feels like it's been a long time since I made a video. It's been a lot going on. As most of you know, I've moved. And as you can probably tell from my surroundings, I have opted for a new vehicle. So, yeah, I'm driving a Volt now, so we'll see how it goes from here. First time having a car in forever. I love trucks, so yeah, this is a little different for me, but screw it. My commute has more than doubled, so you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyways, I wanted to take this time to go ahead and thank a lot of people, affiliations, organizations, etc. For all the hard work that they're doing to make it so easy for conservatism and libertarianism, constitutionalists, for basically the right wing, for everything that basically America stands for that doesn't intrude or impede upon individual liberties. I first and foremost want to thank Maxine Waters.
Oh my God, Raquanda, let me tell you this. Let me tell you.
Yes, tell me what it is, baby.
Oh my God, I had just got off the phone with Ashawana Bufontan, Quiba LaFondella, Raquandra, LaQuisha, Bonisha, Tisha, Bufontrella, Niquandrea, and she had said, I got some juicy gossip for you. And I said, what's it is? What's it is? Tell me it. What's it is? And she had said,
I'm a strong black woman.
oh my God. 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 Oh my God.
He is wrapping his arms around Putin while Putin is continuing to advance into Korea. And so this president is warning Trump, okay, don't start talking about preemptive strikes. We want a diplomatic solution. Yeah. We do not want war in North Korea, Korea at all.
What a stupid bitch. She a dumb hoe.
You are my auntie. You are my, I should say Antifa Maxine Waters. But anyways, you're my auntie. You're that aunt that basically is kind of drinks all the time and parties, is irresponsible with her words. Not to say that I'm not, but you're basically that person that just makes it so easy for the rest of us to just observe you and be like, hey, we don't really got nothing to do on our end except just acknowledge what you're doing and sharing it with everybody else, and just to show how insane you are, how you can basically just light a match and just burn down your own house, on your dime, on your time. So yeah, I wanted to thank you for that. Everything that you're doing is you're pushing a lot more people to really think hard about the stances that they have. And again, I guess it kind of bleeds into halfway walk away, I guess. I've been looking at a lot of these videos in regards to walk away and I don't know, should I share my walk away moment? I think I'll save that for later. Seems too trendy at this point. So, I think you guys know where I stand. I think you guys know my history if you've been watching my videos for a while. So, there's a lot of reasons and a lot of times where I felt I had that aha moment, and it kind of just blended as it progressed.
You and I have a different agenda, young man. I'm out to impeach this president. Get that straight. I'm out to impeach the president. I'm not going to be diverted by people who are Obama haters.
Do you think...
Should we wait to call for impeachment until we have the answers to that question? Or some of the questions?
I have not called for impeachment.
You said I'm going to fight every day until he's impeached. That's what you tweeted.
So, next one I want to thank are Antifa, obviously. I would say Antifa and BLM.
You stay up. You won't be out here doing this dumb Get the here. Get over here now.
BLM, I think Soros decided to stop funding that or something. I don't know. There's not really anything going on with BLM. It was definitely a front. Antifa though, Antifa has grown its own legs. Granted, I do still believe they're getting fund money to go and you know somebody's giving them fake placards and signs, but there is definitely a group in there, a group of real people who really do believe in Antifa's ideologies. So yeah, thank you guys for your display, especially the recent Portland debacle. That was insane. And Cognitive Thought, his compilation of what happened in Portland is pretty awesome. If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Don't give it. Hey, don't give it. Don't give it to the. Don't give it to the. Why are you so angry?
He does a great job with the animations in there. So anyways, yeah, I'd like to thank you as well, both of those groups. NAACP, I really want to thank you guys for outright showing your hypocrisy, your bias, your racism. Yeah, the lack of your credible arguments are lending itself to people moving over to this. Injustices in regards to people who actually lie. You'll still keep their stories. You'll refuse to look at evidence. Yeah, I love that feelings approach, because again, there comes a certain point in I think a lot of people's lives, not everyone's, but a lot of people's lives, where if they're really true to themselves, they're going to stop looking for feelings. They're going to start wanting facts. They're going to want to start reading into these accusations. Again, if they're true to themselves. There's a lot of people who don't like to be true to themselves. There's a lot of people who are fat who don't want to be told that they're fat, and they live their whole life as fat, not thinking that they're fat, and then they could die a horrible disease because of that. Same thing with politics and stuff. There's a lot of people who would just blindly accept whatever comes their way. So yeah, you can't win them all, but I mean, nothing is ever an absolute in the world. Nothing is ever 100%. So thank you.
Get the fuck away from our march. We got no fucking use for you. Make me. Get the fuck away. You don't want me to make you. Trust me.
I hope you like pain.
You don't want me to make you. Trust me. The only reason you're talking all that shit is because that camera's over there. No. That camera wasn't there, I'd be knocking your ass the fuck out. No. That camera wasn't there, I'd be knocking your ass the fuck out.
You want me to show you tough? I'll show you tough.
Best you guys.
Alright! Knock it off!
You just got owned, bitch.
I want to thank all of the modern day feminists who do their best to try to make every single subject in the world an issue.
I'm going to be asking the most difficult would you rather question out there. Would you rather have women's rights or Islam? Let's see how they react.
Why are you not asking Muslim women about this? Why are you asking?
Well, you don't see a whole lot here, do you? Their husbands probably didn't let them come.
Oh my God. Did you just hear what she said to me? She said, I don't see a lot of Muslim women here. Their husbands didn't let them come. Dude, you're doing this for...
Ignorant.
No, she's doing this for...
Go and read the Quran.
Go away. I've read passages and there's a lot more violence in the Bible, and believe me, I grew up Catholic.
That's why you see Christians running people over in the streets of London, right?
Oh my fuck.
Try to create and fabricate causes, extremes, biases, gender stereotypes, etc., etc., etc. I want to thank all of you guys, because the crazy in you is what's making the people who are middle of the ground in the liberal mindset really think about what what their priorities are, what they want to support, what they want to be about, what they want to represent. And to be honest, that shift that you're making a lot of these leftists actually become more centrist, and I really appreciate that. I think that's it's a humble thing that you're doing. You're limiting your own, you're making your group exclusive, which is the left. Overall, it's the left. You're making it exclusive to the point that there's a lot of people who are willing to drop that membership if it means supporting all of these things. If you don't like dildos in your ears or whatever, then you're sexist, racist, misogynistic, homophobe, whatever. So I think a lot of people have gotten over that. So thank you, modern day feminists. Restaurant owners. I want to thank restaurant owners right now because, if it wasn't for you guys showing your true colors and how divisive you are. Okay, here's the thing. For those who do not understand my way of thinking in regards to how businesses should conduct themselves and handle themselves, again, it all boils down to what your rights are. You have a right to refuse service for anything, anyone, any reason. You have a right to handle and manage your business however you see fit. If you want to hire exclusively black people, that's your business. If you want to, again, I think that there's some sort of legal issues there. Maybe federal, maybe state, I don't know. I would assume that there would be. But if you want to, I'm pretty sure that, you have your, you know what you're doing. You want to hire just Mexicans, you want to hire just certain people of a certain class, etc. Your business. You also have the right to be assholes and make your business fail through your own actions.
After Sarah and her husband left and the family relocated to a restaurant across the street, the owner of the Red Hen then organized an effort to go and scream at them from the sidewalk at the other restaurant.
Huckabee's story confirmed by the man who hosted the Sanders family at his bed and breakfast.
It's just an unfortunate situation, because I guess, again, if you're trying to make a statement, make the statement. Don't keep screaming it, and follow people or what have you.
Either way, you fell for it. You're a business owner. You should be smarter than that. What you're doing is you're opening up business. Having a business is like survival of the fittest. You got to cater to anybody who wants your services. And if you, and again, refuse who you want, you'll know your own means. You'll know what you can and can't afford to serve and not serve, and then go from there. But to alienate certain classes or certain groups or certain political affiliated people, and then not expect any sort of a backlash, you're making room for everybody else who can get more money from the mistakes that you're making. You're going to eventually go out of business, or you may lose business because there's a lot of leftists who probably get more support than anything that can't afford to go to your restaurants. So you're really losing out. You're making mistakes here. But you're making it easier for a lot of regular Joe Blows, up and comers, people who are poor but determined, or rich but have good ideas, and you out of the way makes it better. You're making room for people like that. So I applaud you. You're letting the natural cycle of commerce happen. Thank you.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
SJWs.
I identify as non-binary and more on the masculine kind of spectrum.
So let me ask, how's that working out for you?
I guess this kind of falls in line with the feminists as well. I want to thank the SJWs because you guys have exposed college. I guess I'm going to use that as the example. SJWs are everywhere, but I'm going to use college here. You guys have exposed a lot of colleges as places of that people should not go to if they want to advance their career, advance their lives, try to make something of themselves. Because anybody, even an online butterfly, can make a career out of making feminine studies, gender studies, or whatever. Anybody can do that without going to college. So if you really want to save yourself a lot of money, like I wish I would have, then, you know, don't go to college. Do your own thing and go from there. But thank you. I mean, especially Evergreen. My God, you guys are crazy.
We are powerful. We have social media at our hands. We have connections. We are bright. We are beautiful. And the labor can't fall on only those who are most marginalized. So please, make sure everyone's story is being heard and use whatever power you have to scream the truth to the rooftops.
So let me ask, how's that working out for you?
All of you other colleges who decide to put other racial preferences above certain racial groups to meet an agenda. Again, I would rather have a hospital full of 100% white people if I had a surgery than somebody who's going to be doing surgery on me because of social programs. I don't want people to get in just because they're color. I want them to get in because they're qualified. Now, granted, maybe there could be some programs out there that help influence younger people of color. This is where I have an issue with Turning Point USA, where they have issues with, where they say there's issues with identity politics, but then they're okay with their team playing identity politics.
There's a difference between identity politics that are played on the left and regular American people who are seeing that groups of Americans are disenfranchised. There's a difference. Political correctness and somebody playing identity politics on the left is this. Going over here to this identity, black, white, gay, women, whispering in their ear and saying, hey, these people don't like you, but we're going to help you. They're trying to destroy you. We have these remedies for you, and we're going to do something for you. They go over here to this group of people. Hey, we're going to help you. They are against you. We are for you. Go you, go you, go you. They go to this group of people, and they are doing this strategically, maliciously to try to pit people against each other. And what we're doing at Turning Point USA is that we see that there's other Americans who have been disenfranchised. And we are going to do our best to give them information and give them inspiration for them to have a balanced perspective.
Identity politics. You've heard the term before, but what does it mean? There are plenty of definitions, but I like this simple one. The tendency of people of a particular religion, race, social background, etc. to form exclusive political alliances, moving away from traditional, broad-based party politics. End quote.
If believing in myself, if accepting the responsibility for my failures somehow disqualifies me from owning an imaginary card, then let me be the first to declare that I don't want one. If there is one thing that my family history has taught me, it's that I do not need a black card or an imaginary anything to make something of myself. For the record, my grandfather, now retired, lives in a home that he and my grandmother built on a plot of land they purchased in North Carolina. His story is unique. His story is beautiful because it's American. And that's the only card I've ever been interested in playing.
What's interesting about Candace Owens is she uses identity politics against the left.
American. And that's the only card I've ever been interested in playing.
Who are you?
My stance still stands on that. I don't think anything that focuses on a certain group of people, whether it's race, ideology, whatever, it never does anything in the long run to accomplish anything. Even conservatism, even Republican and Democrat, it never does. It always divides. I guess overall, you know, this issue with people just because of their color or their background or whatever, getting to go to college should change. I think that influencing younger people from the get-go is the best answer here. You try to influence them when they're younger, not when they're older and don't even know what they want to do, and enroll them in colleges. You're wasting room in those colleges that could be used for people who actually can provide some sort of a service when they graduate. So again, I'd rather have 10 white people who are 100% proficient in doing what they're doing to do my heart transplant than, 8 minorities and 2 white people just to meet a quota do my heart transplant when even those 8 are like way less than qualified. I'm not saying all of them are. I'm just saying. When you start putting gender, when you start putting race, when you start putting minority status into the equation, and negating the fact that credentials should be in the top overall, you're fucking with progress. So yeah, thank you SJWs, thank you college administrators, stupid ass college administrators for showing us just how stupid going to college is. God, I really wish I would have listened. Too little, too late. I'm paying my price.
Why is it all these black women and femmes doing all this emotional labor in this space? These white-ass faculty members need to be holding him and all these people accountable. We don't need to be doing all this.
Who else do I need to thank? Oh, I need to thank fake news. That phrase right there will probably get me banned off of YouTube. I want to thank fake news. The tropes of Salon, CNN, The Washington Times, The Washington Post, Fox News, HuffPo, whatever you want to fucking call yourselves, BuzzFeed, all of these, and MTV News, the funniest one, because you guys have the craziest shit.
You have Donald Trump tweeting, LGBT people, I'm here to protect you. But at the same time, he also says in the same tweet, we're gonna protect you from the people trying to kill you. So one part of me, he wants to protect and fight for me, but on the other side, he wants to ban me.
Who are you?
I want to thank all of you guys for the awesomeness of your banter, because some of your arguments do open up people's eyes. And then when we us content creators do see ourselves as being attacked by the mainstream media. We know that the influence of ours, I think you guys are all aware that I'm talking to mainstream media at this point. Mainstream media is aware that we as content creators are what more people are gravitating towards as far as getting their information from. Now, granted, all my information today has been just banter. It hasn't been, there's not facts in here. It's just me saying a thank you video to all these people and groups. But for the most part, a lot of our content, the majority of our content when we deal with news and politics, people are gravitating more towards and putting their time and focus and energy on seeing what we have to say and then going out and doing their own research. Well, sometimes I would like to assume that, because then we have a more definitive understanding of what's going on. And even then, when we do our own research, we have to be very careful of where we go. So we know how to identify biases. We know how to identify played data, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I do thank you for allowing people like us, content creators like us, to flourish, to be the voice that people actually listen to over yours. Thank you, MSM.
I want to take a moment to clarify something from Monday. We had a report that inadvertently and wrongly characterized the plea from a Milwaukee woman whose brother was killed by police. As our viewers saw, she demanded that the violence stop in her community, but in fact she also said that protests should instead take their violence to the suburbs. I regret that second part of her statement was not included.
Can you stay categorically? You are fake news. Sir, go ahead.
One last very big one. I know there's more, but I'll stop it here. The very last big one I want to thank is the DNC. I want to thank the DNC for exposing themselves as being players, for not following, and again, the Republican Party has done this as well. But I want to thank the DNC for basically showing their true colors, for outing themselves, for going bankrupt, being the perfect examof you guys wanting to handle everybody's money. Oh, and this thank you also goes out to the politicians involved within the DNC, who don't know how to handle funds, who don't even take care of the streets of their cities. Maxine Waters, Detroit, you know, any place that has had Democratic control, you know, your time of fooling the people are pretty close to being done. Right now you're reaching in desperation, using the MSM, fake news, to try to coerce people into believing yours is the way. You know, that, oh my God, you have to be a victim, you have to be this, you have to be that. People are learning, people are catching on. So thank you. Yeah, thank you all. What are your guys' thoughts? If you want to thank anybody else or any group for what they're doing to make America great again, go ahead and do so in the comments. Like, hate, share, subscribe. I hope you guys all have an awesome day. It feels weird driving in this car. I don't like driving in low vehicles. I feel like my butt is on the pavement. I miss my truck, but I do like the vehicle, so I guess I'll have to live with it. Hope you guys all have a great day. Peace out.
How do you identify your gender, and what does that definition mean to you? I identify as Nutois transgender, or transgender Nutois. I guess on some level it means to me that, it's not only, I guess, something that I'm trying to design as the third gender, or I think something that could be the third gender.
Who are you?